I'm live here. Hello, wonderful people. I hope that you are having such a lovely day. It is a beautiful day here in Mount Shasta City. I am sitting here by this creek and enjoying the lovely sounds and weather around here. I'm going to start off with a prayer. God and Goddess, thank you so very much for all this beauty that surrounds us and being able to exist. Although things are hard so often, I'm so grateful for the knowledge that things are eventually moving towards universal salvation, and that even in these rough moments, there is hope to hold on to, and comfort and love and joy that we can have in your embrace. Please help us become more like you and ascend the golden ladder. Help us lift others up and create a garden paradise once more. In the name of Elohim, I pray. Amen. So today is Mother Earth Day, and it's fitting that I'm in this beautiful surroundings. The midday peace contemplation prayer is: Our God and Goddess, immanent and transcendent, send to all your angel of peace. To the kingdom of the earthly mother, send your angel of joy. I've spoken many times. I know a lot of this is repetitive, but it's really helping me, at least, and important to keep coming back to focus on these different ways that we can have peace all around us and bring peace to this world of suffering and darkness. I really love just knowing that my being kind and bringing that light and peace into the world is part of my holy work. If you have not yet found your holy work, being kind and being that light in the darkness, starting there, random acts of kindness, just trying to make the world around you a better and brighter place is the best place that we can all start. So, that being said, today I wanted to talk a little bit about gossip, because it is something that I think a lot of people struggle with. And yesterday I was so excited about this space and the things that are kind of coming forward with it. And then in the midst of creating my beautiful bulletin boards, which I'm so excited to share with you when they're finished, I used to be very enthralled to help teachers put up bulletin boards and decorate and do all that kind of stuff. So it's really exciting for me to be able to do that here at the Mount Shasta Ascension Center and kind of incorporate things that the owner is trying to bring in, which is unconditional love and being in the now, with some really beautiful quotes and verses from the Holy Megillah. So I'm really excited to share that with you once it's done. There's a few more touches that I need to add to it, but super excited. Anyways, as I'm putting up the bulletin board, a minor conflict happened with another person here, and there was gossip about it, and I overheard it. And I mean, the walls around here especially have ears. There's a lot of people, and it's unfortunate. But anyways, I just wanted to read some verses from the Megillah about gossip so that we can all be enlightened and uplifted, and hopefully take some of these teachings into our world. Hopefully all of them, but whatever resonates most with you. David G says these daily prayers and spiritual discussion are helping many of us. Oh, I really appreciate that, and thank you for saying that. I feel like I'm always in the prayer hands mudra these days, but it's like my favorite. So anyways, I'm going to jump into the Megillah here. And just so you know this, I posted this little meme about the prayerful hands mudra. It's extremely effective for inspiring deep spiritual feelings of union with the divine, as well as being a nonverbal statement of devotional service to all of creation. And more I am trying to align myself with that, because I know that my soul chose to come here to be the hands and feet of mercy. One of the things about the Megillah is it very obviously just states that, in this cosmic school, we can graduate and ascend and get to heaven most high. But then when we're in heaven most high, we still have our brothers and sisters suffering below us. So those of us that hear the call of who will go into these fallen worlds and be the light in the darkness and uplift other souls. That is what I'm here for. And so this, I didn't even mean to do that. It's just kind of a natural thing. So it's kind of fun. Anyways, on to the gossip, so the sections of gossip. So this is various verses from the Holy Megillah, the Nasarean Bible of the Essene way, which is translated by Dave Greenleaf, available at essene.org. I don't make money off this. I just want to help people find what has been helping me, and also make sure that my channel doesn't get shut down because of copyright issues. So this is the first verse here is from the Precepts of Zion, Book 1, the Gate of Zion, and it's from chapter 2, verse, I have a little list here that I wrote out this morning. Verse 48, never gossip or give ear to a gossip, or to a gossiper, I'm sorry. For every gossiper is a tool of Satan. Think not of rising in rank. Oh, well, also that's a good one too. Think not of rising in rank, but serving selflessly. These are both really good precepts, but the one about gossip again says, never gossip or give ear to a gossiper, for every gossiper is a tool of Satan. The next one that I have here is from the Holy Godspell, chapter 20. And I forgot to put the link to the PDF so that you could follow along, but I'll make sure that I get it in the comment sections after this is over. So the Holy Godspell, chapter 20, verses 10 through 12. The loyal friend has no ear for gossip and shuns gossipers, like the plague they are. The gossiper has no loyal friends. For, as Abishu declared, birds of a feather fly together. But that is so true as well. Birds of a feather fly together. And the text here says fly. I apologize. The normal saying that we usually say is flock, right? But how true is that? Because when you leave the room, you always have to be worried about, are these people going to be talking about me? If they're talking with you, they're probably going to be talking about you. And so often that is the case that they do exactly that. So the next beautiful verse here is part of my bulletin board ministry or outreach or whatever that I'm doing here, combining the 5D love, unconditional love teachings with the Megillah. And this beautiful chapter 24, is the Canticle of Love by Mother Mary. And we've read it before. It is, love is patient, love is compassionate, love is kind. Love is humble, yet exalted. Love is tender, yet powerful. Love is not jealous. Love is not envious. Love is not slanderous. Love gives no ear to gossip and does not gossip. Love is not rude. Love is not malicious. Love is not defeatable. And never believe that love is without humor. I'm just going to finish this part because it's so great. Prophecies may go unfulfilled, but love never fails. Not in the long run, neither in the given moment of the truly translucent ones in love. Only in the long run is the true victor revealed, and her name is love. All else is merely unripe. Amen. So be it. Chapter 30, verse 830. Miriam and her initiates are traveling up the Mount of Shemesh in this, and it just says, this is verse 830. For lo, Miriam told us at the outset of the walk, if we study every day, pronouncing correctly the words of power gained by excellent studentship, but gossip behind the back of our sister or brother, we have successfully walked the scholarly path, but have stumbled on the social path of the Nasarean religion of the Essene way. I say unto my disciples, sisters and brothers, walk the true walk without gossip, even as your feet now tread the path upon Mount Shemesh without stumbling. I love that, because so often so many religious people are following these rules to a T, but then when they're outside of the religion, or outside of the church, what are they actually doing? Even inside of the church, there's so many problems. And in the same chapter, Holy Godspell, verse 1230. Oh, actually, I missed this part right here. Before we get there, chapter 30 also says in verse 1191, Miriam said, the peaceful speak little of the faults of others. The tormented speak of little else. Definitely something to ponder as well. And after reading that, it really sunk in with me, especially because of the situation that I was going through and being talked about negatively and even lied about. And I'm like, okay, well, this is coming from a place of someone that is really hurt, and their accusations and attacks are not something that I should take personally or even react. When Miriam was attacked by Peter and spoken negatively about, she did not react to it because she understood that it was coming from a place of a soul that was lost in darkness, and they're already on their own downward spiral. And if we react negatively, if we give into that and respond in a way that is going to fuel that negativity, it's bringing us down. It's also going to help them descend more as well. They're already in a place of hurt and pain and suffering, and that's why they're acting the way towards us that they are. So again, with these peace meditations every day, it's really helpful that we're having that inner peace and being at peace with ourselves and the world around us, and knowing who we are, so that anybody that comes along, any giant tidal waves of a person that comes along into your day that might have some negativity towards it or in that interaction, you're going to still be at peace within yourself, and you're going to respond in a way that is going to hopefully bring more peace about it, right? The true peacemakers are the ones that someone's coming at you and you're able to not react emotionally, but you're able to say the right words in order for them to calm down and bring more peace to that situation yourself, right? Even just speaking quietly. If someone's yelling in your face, just tone it down a little bit, and so that they have to kind of listen in to hear what you're saying. Getting a little bit off topic there, but 1, 2, 3, 0. Here we go. This is chapter 30, 12:30, verse 12:30. The Magdalene said, be not a gossiper. So we keep seeing over and over in this text that it is really important that we are not gossiping. The Holy Godspell 49, chapter 49, verse 78. Yeshua the righteous said, if you give your ear to a gossip, you become an accomplice. Yeshua the truthful said, the tongue of the gossip can create no scandal without a willing ear. Yeshua the Christ said to the assembled companions and Syrian Nazarenes, "The gossip has his tongue in every pot. When the pot boils, his tongue gets burned." Yeshua the Just said, "The gossip meddles in what does not concern him. What should concern him is himself." Yeshua the Yogi said, "Gossip, gluttony, and dishonesty, these evils come through misuse of the mouth." Got about two more here for you. This is from the Holy Godspell, chapter 82. And this is actually titled "A Lesson on Gossip." And then I'll have one more verse for you after this and then leave you with a short message to wrap it on up. So again, chapter 82, verse 6, this says, "A woman that sold produce was gossiping on and on about the tainted past of another woman that sold produce at the same market. The woman had been directing the long session of gossip at some of the companions, hoping to win their coins and prevent them from buying from her her competitor. Yeshua took the several companions that were listening to the gossip away and said, 'Deny gossipers your ear, or your ear becomes a hornet's nest.' Miriam said, 'The tongue of a gossip can create no scandal without a willing ear.' Yeshua added, a gossip sticks her or his nose in every pot. The pots will boil and the gossip's nose will be burned." Miriam said, "The gossip meddles in what does not concern her. What should concern her escapes her." A companion asked, "Certainly it is wrong to exaggerate the faults of others, which this woman was doing for financial profit. But is it wrong to gossip accurately about the faults of others?" Yeshua replied, "Contemplate your own faults and improve them. Do not gossip about the faults of others. When you catch yourself gossiping, stop. Affirm that you choose not to gossip. Politely disengage from those that are gossiping." Miriam said, "Spiritually advanced persons gossip not of the faults of others. Those of lower consciousness speak of little else." And finally, we're actually going to go back a little bit to chapter 61. All of this stuff is so, so great. 61 verse 79. And, I'm sorry. How does it say? Don't tell me I lost it again. It must be 60. I'm going to be so sad if I lost it again. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 179, not just 79. I missed the one. That was a problem. Woohoo. Chapter 61, verse 179. "Besides accepting vegetarianism and our basic doctrines and practices described in the Megillah, a candidate for initiation must pledge to walk the social path in our church without being a disharmonious troublemaker. Gossips and other internal troublemakers will destroy a church or yoga fellowship or any other group activity from the inside faster than the secret police can destroy it from the outside." that's one of the ones that I'm going to post up around here as well to help, because that is so true. Gossips and other internal troublemakers will destroy a church, yoga, group activity, whatever, faster than an infiltrator from the secret police would. They'll literally destroy it from the inside out. So having, especially when you're in a community of people, for me personally, I'm trying to build one here. So kind of starting from scratch. I do have the Shasta Vegan community, but I would like the Shasta Nasarean church so that it is more aligned with the spiritual side. Veganism is a pretty broad spectrum. You can be spiritual. You don't have to be. There's atheists that are vegan. So that's one thing, but the Nasarean church would be aligned with these types of principles and so many teachings on gossip that really drive home the importance of staying away from it and making sure that we are using our words to uplift others, even when those others are not in the room around us, because it can really spoil someone's reputation. And I understand when you're angry and something happened and someone did something wrong, you might want to run and tell somebody else. The best person that we could run and tell is just God and Goddess. They saw everything. Express your frustration to them. Maybe get out and ground yourself and send that anger and all this stuff. I know full well that when like that bulletin board, what would we call it? Oh, I can't call it a brawl because nothing happened, but I wanted to use 3 Bs. Anyways, that set some cogs in motion in my mind that have me feeling negatively about this person. And I'm trying to pull back from that and see them with loving and compassionate eyes and understanding where they are and why they're acting like this. But it's easier said than done, especially when the gossip is happening as well. And so I'm not trying to gossip. I'm just trying to explain my situation without any personal attacks on this other person or anything like that. So yeah, I'm learning these lessons myself as much as I'm trying to share them with you. But I think it's really important that we hear these things and take them into not just consideration, but make a practice out of it, a daily practice, in order to be peaceful. Especially another thing that keeps weighing on me is being the ambassadors of the Lord and Lady Christ from the Christ family and acting in accordance with that. Instead of so many people pushing people away, you're not helping people come closer to Christ or God, you're pushing them away. We need to take our being ambassadors very seriously in everything that we do. So I'm going to jump into the live chat and then I am going to get off of here. But hopefully those teachings were uplifting to you. Hey, DJ Curious, how's it going? I will be on next Tuesday at 7 p.m. PST. I will be on with DJ Curious and Mark Sargent on Mark Sargent's channel. And I'm super excited to get to chat with them and share the good message to the Flat Earth community. David D says, if you are a gossip, they will likely gossip about you. Exactly. And for some people, it's harder than others to gossip. And sometimes, even when not gossiping, like especially like if you're angry or emotional or whatever, it's very easy to not control our tongues. Sometimes the best thing that you can do in any situation is just bite your tongue until you have a good response. I remember in maybe high school or middle school, really cliche little object lesson type thing of someone having a toothpaste bottle and getting angry or whatever, reacting, and they squeeze it out and you squeeze all the toothpaste out. You can't get the toothpaste back in. That's the same thing with our words, right? You can't ever get back something that you say. So it's really important, especially when we're in a negative feeling, angry or sad or all these things, to really pay attention to what we're saying, because oftentimes, even when we're typing online to react to people, it can feel like we're not in control, and it's just like these things are going, and like when you take a minute to react or to reread what you've said, and you're like, oh man, that wasn't coming from my true soul, and like that wasn't of the upward spiral. That's not helping anything. So in hindsight, you always see that, oh, I could have handled that better. you don't have to feel that regret and that guilt or whatever those feelings are if you just in that moment, like, at least just bite your tongue, walk away from the conversation. If it's like in a relationship or something, be like, I love you, I just need some space to calm down so that I don't say something that I regret, or something along those lines, especially, in our relationships with other people. So David D says, when will the complete English translation of the Holy Megillah become available? That is a good question. I don't know how much Dave Greenleaf would like me to say anything on these matters. So, but I think a general allowance is that potentially next year sometime that the final copy will be ready. And I think I did mention that on my live stream, but I don't want to give too many details because I don't know what is going on that end yet. But I actually am going up there next weekend to Florence to not only grab a few more copies of this beautiful book, but I also am getting the lovely pleasure of having Day actually invited me over to his house for dinner with some fellow Nasarean lions, Essenes in that area. So I'm super, super excited about just having a home cooked meal, being invited into Day's home, and getting to connect and chat about all sorts of things and just be. I'm excited. So, hello, Hemness Chris. From my understanding of the Bible and law, the Bible are based on banking among many other aspects of life. Father, Spirit, and Holy Ghost are the three EIN number to access our trust accounts in our name. Interesting. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they based their system on the truth of the reality that we're in, because that father-mother dynamic was from the beginning, and then we're all their children. So the original Trinity is Father, Mother, Child, and we're all their children. But they do rip off everything, like everything that is good, they demonize and invert, starting with just even sexuality and the universe being sexual in nature. And this beautiful dance that God and Goddess did at the beginning, where they were singing "Let There Be Light" and dancing in this beautiful embrace, and these sparks just start, these soul sparks start flying off of them in this beautiful, oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful. And then they take sex, and then we have the world that we're in, this hookup culture and meaningless abortion, separating procreation from sex and the attachment and the everything from it to make it this basal thing that is just meaningless. Then you have all of the other things, the pentagram, just so many different things that they have stolen and tried to demonize. And then so many people now are like, oh, that's evil. It's like, it's actually not evil. Evil ones have stolen it and they're using it for evil. But the pentagram, for instance, is a sign, a symbol, and the original intent was not evil. Actually, when you read the Holy Megillah about sacred geometry, all of these different geometric patterns were created as part of the creation story. So God and Goddess created the patterns. They created the blue sky with the yellow sun, right? Blue and yellow. People were like, oh, that's Masons. Masons don't own those color patterns. God put them in the sky first, right? So God and Goddess. So many of these things that we're like being taught to demonize, we need to look under the surface and realize that they've been stolen and inverted and perverted. Because that's all these clowns do. It's like they never come up with anything original. They just basically take what is created by God and Goddess and then try to flip it upside down, try to break it, try to get it going in the negative or the downward spiral. Hey Rocket, how's it going? Rocket says, take off your shoes and ground yourself to earth. Exactly, especially when you're feeling anxious, angry, sad, any type, especially of negative emotions. Mother Earth would love to embrace you and comfort, just like your own mother. Like, I shouldn't say your own mother because I don't know your mom, but if you have a loving mother and you're her child and something goes wrong, even as an adult, she wants to embrace you and love you and try to help comfort you in those times. And the mother Mother Earth is the same manner. And on a spiritual level, Mother Goddess and Father God are always there as well, with their arms extended to embrace us with love and that unconditional, the forgiveness that they have for us. All of this stuff that really we're not focused on in the mainstream religions. David D says a Shasta Nasarean gathering next year. How exciting. Yes, I am so excited about that, and I'm expecting that during this little dinner party there will be discussion about that as well. So I don't know, I might do some filming during, well, I guess also I do the daily meditation, so wherever I'm traveling you'll be with me there at least, but maybe getting some extra footage of my trip and showing you like the Essene bookstore and some of the stuff that's around there so that you can see what's going on. Chris says, such as the Sodomites who had access to the temple where people left their gifts. They would take much of the gifts / fat for themselves, like how we are taxed today. That doesn't surprise me at all, especially knowing that they infiltrated the priesthood very early on, the policehood too. And they're controlling all of these different systems. The priests and those that infiltrated the priesthood very early on. I was going to detour into a thing about the Megillah, but anyways, they messed up the Torah, and they were also getting benefits from the animal sacrifice, so they wanted it to continue going. They were black magicians as well. So when you're participating in animal sacrifice, when you're the one that's actually slicing the throats, even the doctors that do abortion, these are very high black magicians, because what they are doing is they're the ones that are sacrificing these innocents over and over again, and demons will empower them in that negative way because they're on the downward spiral. They're doing evil. Their soul is being dragged down to hell by their actions, and they're also helping to corrupt those around them. So they do get demonic powers, and for some that is tempting, but I assure you that no matter what they promise you or gift you or any benefits that come from siding with the dark side and demons, it is a temporary thing, and it is going to come at the cost of your soul. Once you get on that downward spiral, it's a lot easier to go down than it is up oftentimes, and especially when these demons start to latch onto you and they know exactly where your weaknesses are, they can just keep you spiraling down into darkness until you're in the black pit. And thankfully, those that fall into the black pit will become the living manure, so to speak, of the new world when it is created after the great harvest. But that's not worth it. Your soul forgets all the things that came before, and you're not going to be proud of being on the downward spiral, no matter how much fame or glory that you get on this earth. So just keep that in mind. Remember that this lifetime is temporary, and the best thing that you could do, no matter what trouble befalls you, is to be the hands and feet of Lord and Lady Christ, and to help lift others up. It will lift them up, it'll change the world around you, but it'll also lift you up as well. David D says that grounding is so often overlooked, but there is nothing more powerful than for dispelling demonic entities or energies. I'm sorry, I'm having some reading issues today because I also am feeling exhausted because I'm on the 3-day fast as well. I posted it into the dry fasting community, and that's usually where I keep the fasting stuff for anybody that wants to join. I know, like the Essene Gospel of Peace and other scriptures say to fast alone. And I understand that, but I also understand the accountability and feeling like you're part of a group and being encouraged to partake in a fast. So that is why I do it. Other people might take fasting and do it as some sort of, oh, look at me, how good I am because I fast. And I think that's one of the main reasons that it's like, go fast alone in prayer and be alone by yourself, and don't just blurt it out to the world that you're doing that. So that's why I share with everybody else just to help them and give them someone to do it with. And yeah, if you are interested in that, do the dry fasting community on Facebook. All right, I'm going to jump off of here. Feminist Chris says, been censored and shadow banned for 15 years, not scared. Well, that is definitely good to not be scared. We live in a completely controlled reality, and anyone that's like trying to hide from the government is kind of, it's kind of being silly because they control they know everything that's going on. But yeah, not being scared is really important because they do have a lot of these fear tactics, and in the future, when we don't submit to their technological upgrades and become transhuman, there's going to be threats with that as well. Even just look at COVID, right? And the threats, and not just threats, but the you killed my grandma, and like this trying to almost shame us into going along with, or guilt us into going along with their narratives. And I'm not going to say that shame and guilt doesn't work or isn't appropriate in certain circumstances. Like if you're killing animals, you should feel shame and guilt. But in this situation, obviously that's being misused. And realistically, that shame and guilt is only meant to help us acknowledge that there's something wrong that we're doing and change course. It's not meant for us to, oh man, I feel so bad about this, and allow ourselves to spiral further down into that dark depression and all those negative energies that are going to fuel even worse behavior as well, right? So those feelings of shame and guilt are meant to help us recognize that there's something wrong and to get back on the right path. So hopefully you took something from this message today. It was a little bit more on other things than just gossip, and it was a little bit more than just a short message. But it was really enlightening and helpful for me as well. Just a nice reminder because of all the energies that I'm dealing with. And when I'm getting into a situation when someone starts to gossip, I'm constantly trying to like figure out a way to be like, change the subject, or if I can't get out of the situation, which is sometimes the problem, like especially when I'm interacting with the owner maybe, and he might want to bring something up, I just try to kind of interrupt and re-change the situation, or shed some understanding and enlightenment, being like, oh well, some people might be doing it because of this way, and just kind of pull out of it and not give ear to it. It's really hard, especially when you're around other people that are participating in it, to stay out of it. But it's really important that we do, because we don't want to add to that negativity and have that bad karma for ourselves as well. When we're participating in it, we can't expect that it's not happening behind our backs. So, all right, my loves, I am going to jump off of here. I hope that you have a wonderful day. I'll be back on here tomorrow for the noonday peace contemplation. May God and the Goddess bless you.